All right. Welcome to the Ultra High Net Worth Clients Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Broadhead. We started this podcast as a way to create a central resource of this financial advisor practice growing tips shared by the most outstanding advisors in the industry, of which our guest today is definitely one. These outstanding financial advisors agree to be on the show and provide a ton of value for free, all in the hopes that our audience might learn from their words. My father was a financial advisor, and financial advisors are the main client we serve, so my marketing agency's mission is to help every financial advisor grow their business in an effort to help the world become more financially secure. Today, we have the rare pleasure of talking with an incredible financial advisor, Kimberly R. Stewart. Kimberly, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Good day, Chris. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I am Kimberly R. Stewart. I am a financial advisor in Orlando, Florida. I'm an independent advisor that is affiliated with Ameriprise Financial. My firm has been in existence now for a little under 15 years, and we are just happy to be here and happy to share with you, Chris.
Awesome. All right, lot to dig into. So I often like to start at the beginning. How did you find yourself in this wild industry?
It's an interesting story because growing up as a kid, I always thought I would be an accountant. That was always my goal. I've had a love for numbers for as long as I could remember. And so all through high school, I'm going to be an accountant. Got to UCF, the University of Central Florida, go Knights. And
Nights,
started
charge on.
out, yeah, fellow alumni, Chris, and started out as an accounting major. And to be quite frank with you, Chris, I realized you had to be awfully special to be an accountant. I'm not that special. And
That's
so
tough.
I
Yeah.
switched to finance and I loved it. It was like I found my purpose, I found my passion. And so I've been doing it ever since.
Mm, awesome. That's great. So tell me about you finish school and then, how do you kind of get established in the industry?
So I finished school at UCF, and right around the early 90s, I believe it was, Charles Schwab was opening up a huge facility right here in Orlando in a suburb called Maitland, Florida. And
Mm.
so at that time, we still had actual newspapers. So I saw the ad in the newspaper for they're hiring, all kinds of positions, customer service representatives, licensed positions, and things of that nature. I, of course, was not licensed, but I knew this was the place I had to be. I knew I had to
Mm.
somehow get a job at Charles Schwab. And so I applied. I applied some more and I called some more. So it was actually kind of funny because I was really persistent because I knew I wanted to work at this company.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got hired on as a customer service rep, giving quotes, the stock price is 112, the bid is this, the ask is that. And so that's how I initially started my career in finance.
Mm-hmm.
Got licensed while I was at Schwab, also got my CFP, became a manager in the active trading division. So my career started and I found my love of this career at Charles Schwab.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you have you are just tenacious. You are undeterred. Nothing can stop you. Where does this determination come from? Did you have a great mentor growing up?
No. And so I would say, Chris, that this determination comes from motivation within. I was the first in my family to go to college, the first in
Mm-hmm.
my family to graduate. And so with that comes a lot of responsibility. And I've
Mm.
always felt like that not only do I have that responsibility, but I also have an obligation. There are many people that fought for me to have the ability to go to college, the ability to become Kimberly Stewart, the ability to
Mm-hmm.
have, my own firm and do all those things. And so I've always taken that responsibility and that obligation seriously. And I knew, what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be successful. I didn't always know what that looked like, but I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to have a career. I knew I wanted to be able to help people. And so those things were able to come together simultaneously with my finance career. And it's that's always been my motivation that I just want to be successful. I want to make my family proud and I want to make my community proud.
Amazing. So and you have, clearly done that and continue to do that and will continue to do that. So that's very exciting. Um, So when you were first starting with Charles Schwab, you're like, you're just getting your foot in the door. How did you, you know, get the role that you want, and then how did you, start getting traction, start, convincing clients to work with you? How did you find clients?
So a couple of things happened. And so it all, of course, began at Schwab. But one of the things I learned at Schwab is that I always had to continually learn. I
Mm.
had to, one, get my Series 7 first and foremost. And then I got my Series 8. I think it's called the 9 and 10 now. And then, when the opportunity came up to get my CFP designation, got that. So one of the things that Schwab taught me was, because it was such a huge company with so many different departments and so many different facets, that there was always opportunities to grow. But in order to seize those opportunities, I had to make sure I was prepared, make sure I had the education and the experience. And so it always taught me to keep learning, keep learning. There's so much more that I can learn, i.e., I could be in the institutional service group. I could be on the trading floor. I could be in, various capacities there. So because of that, I always knew that I had to continually learn. And I always had to, let's be frank, Chris, this is a white male dominated business. And so the way that a Black woman separates herself in this business is becoming more just as knowledgeable, but getting the experience and all of those things. And so I knew I had to set myself apart. I had to become the unicorn, so to speak, that because I am a unicorn in this business. And so I always knew that I had to continually learn. And so I took that with me throughout my entire career. When I left Schwab, I went to State Farm because I wanted to get the insurance experience. So I got my CLU designation there because I wanted to be able to, I knew eventually I would be client facing, but in these corporate roles, I wanted to take the opportunity to learn as much as I could, i.e., but most corporations pay for you to get those designations and those certifications. And so I knew I needed to learn as much as I could as long as I was in the corporate space. And so once I got out of the corporate space, then I was able to take all those things, all the education that I've accumulated over the years, and then leverage that to help me help clients. And so from Schwab to State Farm, and then I went to Edward Jones, where I had an office there for 5 years, and then I went independent about 15 years ago. So all of those places, all of that learning prepared me to be client facing and to be able to help my clients achieve their financial goals and dreams.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. So you mentioned about 15 years ago you decided to go independent. Can you tell us more about that decision?
The decision to go independent was equally for me as a person and for my clients. For my clients, going independent allowed me to offer them a wider breadth of solutions for their financial goals and dreams. For me, it allowed me to realize and live out my dream of being an entrepreneur, having my own business, and then controlling my own destiny. I'll never forget, um, I was at one of my former employers and had done exceptionally well. And they told me I could not receive a pay increase because I had reached the top of my pay grade. Led the state in everything that we were measured in, but I couldn't receive a pay increase because I'd reached this ceiling. And so that didn't sit well with me, Chris, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
We're exceeding at what you're tasked with doing. You're doing a great job. You're serving your clients. To be told that you reached your pay level or your pay ceiling didn't sit well. So that had a lot to do with me going independent as well. Being able to control my own destiny, to control my own income, and to be able to really control how I interact and help clients. And so that was the reason for me going independent 15 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. And how has that impacted your career and your growth, your ability to grow? And I mean, we have a lot of listeners and frankly, potential guests who are not allowed to come on the show because because they work for one of the big wirehouses and they're not allowed to go on podcasts. So can you kind of share how going independent impacted your career?
So what it allowed me to do, Chris, is it allowed me to help clients, to meet my clients where they were. So I'm never one of those people that feel like I have to push a product, that i.e., because my firm is offering this product or saying we should sell this product, that it's a one-stop fit all for clients. No, going independent and establishing my own firm allowed me to tailor my solutions to my clients. And so what I've been able to do with that is in the very beginning, it's a struggle for all of us. You're trying to meet people, you're trying to get people to understand that you're one qualified, that you're educated, and that you have the credibility. So initially, it's a grind. You're out meeting as many people, you're trying to get clients. But what I found, and it's an old saying, people don't care what you know, they just want to know that you care. And so one of the ways that I built this business or my business over time is through seminars and being a resource for clients and being able to provide them with access to information so that they can help make the right financial decisions. My clients are like family to me. And so they know that. They know I do that, and they know that's how we operate here in my firm. And so once people get that feeling for you, then they start to come. And to be quite frank with you, they start to refer people. And so that's how I've been able to build the business over the last 15 years. The seeds that I planted year one, year two, and doing seminars and webinars and speaking engagements and talking to people and going and meeting them where they are, has allowed my business to flourish, because all of those seeds that I planted many years ago are now coming to harvest.
Amazing. I love that quote you shared. People don't care what you know. They want to know that you care.
Right. Because at the end of the day, think about it. I don't go to any other different stock market than any other financial advisor in this country. We're all going to the stock market. Chances are we're all investing in some of the same things. It is about the relationship. Money is more emotional than it is technical. And so people want to know that you're going to care for them. The technical aspects of money, we got 7, 8 CFPs, all of that. Most of us can do that in our sleep. It's the relationship where we see the true value come. And that's what clients want. They want to see the value. Every client I had lost money when the market went down. Did I lose clients because the market went down? No. Because they know I care. Hey, I'm in the trenches with you. The market's going down. This is what's happening. We're here together. And so it's really about the relationship.
Awesome. And can you talk about, finding clients and getting traction, and, have you employed any specific client finding strategies that you have found to work really well?
This is going to sound really trite, but the best way I find clients is through the clients I currently have. The best referral source I have is the clients I currently have. On any given week, we can get 2 to 5 referrals any given week through my website. And so the best way you get clients is treat the ones you have really good. I tell people all the time, if you're especially, I live in Florida, and we all know it gets really, really hot here.
Oh yeah.
No sense to turn the air down to 65 degrees and open up all the windows. What I mean by that analogy is it makes no sense for me to continually go out and get clients, and I'm losing the ones that are already in the house. So the ones that are in the house are my best referral service. So the best thing I can do, I teach my team members to do, the best thing we can do is service those clients and do a great job at servicing them, because they will go out and fish and hunt for us. And that's what has happened. Now, it also helps, again, that I do a ton of speaking engagements. I have a pretty decent social media presence and things of that nature. But to be quite frank with you, most of my clients come from referrals, and I'll go even one step further. A lot of my referrals come from people that I've never even met. People will say to me, well, Chris referred me. I've never met Chris, but Chris has somehow heard about me through the community and things of that nature, which brings me back to that people don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. My community knows that Kimberly, one, acts with integrity. Two, she really cares about financial literacy, and she really wants to help people. So I have people in my community that refer people to me, and they're not even clients. They, I refer someone to you. I'm coming, but in the meantime, I'm going to refer, Mr. Smith over here to you. So that happens for me quite a bit. So my marketing is simply taking care of the clients I have.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense, and I love your analogy there. You mentioned that you do a lot of speaking. I was gonna be like, you must do speaking, because you are so clear, like, and engaging, and your examples are so vibrant, and yeah, love it.
Chris, again, it's an art to it. You know this, you're doing it as well, but it's an art to it. If you can connect with people on an emotional level, they'll accept everything else. And that's what I've been blessed to be able to do. I can connect with I tell people this all the time. I'd rather speak to a room of 200 people than speak to one person any day, because I can control that more than I can on this one-on-one interaction. So it just works.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So, this question might be redundant, but I love asking it because I seem to get a wild range of answers. When you think of great service for your clients, like what does that look like?
First and foremost, it looks like acting with integrity,
Hmm.
being someone that they can truly trust. I think it also comes from setting very realistic expectations. I think it also exudes from you having that connection. But more importantly, people want to hear from you quickly, respond. I had a client interaction with a firm with someone I was working with. I sent them three emails in the course of a week. They never responded. We can't have that in this business. With things are so much microwave and there's so many other options. You can go to Schwab, you can go to Robo Trader, things of that nature. So one of the things I tell my team is we've got to be responsive. When they email, we got to respond. When they call, we've got to respond. When they text, we have to respond. If they reach out on our website, we have to respond, because they're reaching out for us. They're signaling, excuse me, they want something from us. We have to deliver.
Hmm. Hmm.
And as long as we meet that, as long as we continue to deliver, or we continue to answer their signaling of wanting something from us, we'll be fine. And so we try to get back to clients in a timely manner. I make sure that we communicate regularly with clients and that we stay on board with them. Ameriprise has something, and this is not a commercial for Ameriprise, but it's the truth, something called the Ameriprise Client Experience, which talks about being in regular contact with clients, responding timely, giving them information, all of those things. And so we try to make sure that we're more proactive than reactive. Now, all of us are going to react. There are going to be times where we miss the mark. One of the things I try to do is I like to be accountable. Hey, I missed the mark on that. My bad. You sent this email Tuesday. It's Thursday. I got busy. I saw it. Please accept my apologies. Let me get right on it. And so people appreciate that. People appreciate that. No one expects perfection, but we got to come as close as we can to that.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Love that. That was a great explanation. So you mentioned you do regular speaking gigs. Can you talk about how you find these gigs and what impact they've had on your career?
Early on in my career, Chris, if anyone asked me to come and, hey, Kimberly, can you come to a book club? And I got 8 people coming to my house. Can you come and give us a, seminar on financial literacy? Hey, I belong to a sorority. Can you come educate my sorority? Hey, my job has, during financial literacy month, wants to do these lunch and learns. Early on in my career, I took advantage of every opportunity that someone would allow me to get in front of, because Edward Jones has this thing, door knocking. Everybody in the industry knows that Edward Jones wants you to knock on doors. Well, part of that is you got to meet 25 people per day. How do you meet 25 people per day? It's quite hard if you're going on knocking around doors, but it's quite easy. I can get 75 people to come in a room. And
Hmm.
so early on, I determined, and I figured out that this is where one of my passions lied, was with public speaking. So I would go out and hey, can I come in and speak to your employees? I'll bring in lunch and talk to them about the importance of financial literacy. Or do you have a employee network in your corporation? Can I come do this? Can I come to your sorority? Can I come to your church? Can I come to your fraternity? Can I come to your civil organization and organization and speak to whomever's there? That's how I built them. And that's how I got involved in seminars. I took every speaking engagement that I could. Now what happens is people ask me to come speak, because I built that reputation in Orlando that, hey, Kimberly is one, very passionate about financial literacy. That is, Chris, I do believe that is one of the reasons why I was created, to educate people, and certainly people that look like me, because people that look like me don't often get what I know. And so That was one of the reasons. So that's one of the reasons why I do it. But now that I've become known as, hey, if you need financial literacy, you need a seminar, Kimberly Stewart is the person to go to. People now seek me out. But it took me a while to get to that point. And so I had to go seek them out and make myself available to be a resource again. And I'm going to keep coming back to this. People don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. And so by being a resource and educating them, and hey, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to give you education. I get more clients that way than I do if I'm pushing a product, which I've never done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Amazing. And I think, that seems to be like a great skill that comes, I'm sure it sounds like you worked extremely hard at it, but you're just a very dynamic speaker, and you're very engaging, and you speak very clear with great metaphors and quotes. So yeah, I mean, I
That
would.
comes from practice, Chris. I wasn't always,
Yeah.
I wasn't
Okay.
a practice, and the more you do it, think about it. When you first did your first podcast to now, how much simpler, how much
Yeah.
more ease you are with it. And
Hmm.
that's what I tell advisors. Hey, it's not necessarily something that all of us are born with, but it is something you
Hmm.
can learn. And
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
learn it to help reach more people and help drive growth in your business, because that's why we're here. None of us have a
Mm.
red cross on our office. I'm not here to not make money. I'm not here to not help my clients. I'm here to provide a
Mhm.
pretty decent living for Kimberly and my family to help my clients. And one of the ways I need to do that is find the best way to serve the most amount of people that I can. Again, if I could serve
Yeah, yeah.
100 people a day versus one, I'm going to catch a whole lot more attention.
Amen to that. Amen. Um, and you also mentioned, your social media presence. A lot of the advisors we have on, are not in their 30s like you are. They're
It'll get you some good points.
they're a little older, or they're just too busy. Can you talk about the impact or importance of social media on your practice?
I think one of the things that we have to be in, not just as financial advisors, but just as humans, period, you have to be constantly evolving. The world has changed. The day of us sending out a mailer, the day of us cold calling, smiling and dialing, those days are over. The way
Mhm.
you reach the most people is you've got to go where they are. They all happen to be on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok. So you gotta go where they are. If I send out a mailer today, most people would never get it, first of all. Second, most of them would never open it. And then third, if they did open it, they would open it and throw it in the trash. But if I can if I can present a compelling story on the places where they are, then it's easy peasy. And to be quite frank with you, most of it's free. I don't pay for ads or anything of
Mm.
that nature. And so what I would say to advisors is, one, if you're not equipped to do it, go buy it. Go hire
Mhm.
someone. Go hire someone. I'm fortunate that I have a couple people on my team that are really good at it. I've become somewhat good at it because I've had to. I want to grow my business. But if you're not, go hire a social media consultant, a social media person, a marketing person to help you go to where the people are, because that's where they are. Most people, what do they call it? FinTalk? Isn't that what they call financial literacy on TikTok?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, if
yeah.
most
And
people
talk.
are getting their financial literacy on TikTok, excuse me, or social media, and you're not there, you're missing out on those people.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah,
And
it's a
so
great
if you're
point.
not good at it, if you're not equipped at it, or, I get most of us have a very finite amount of time, then go hire someone, ask someone in your practice, hey, I need you to focus on social media 4 hours of the week or whatever the case may be, so that you can go meet your prospects where they are, because that's where the majority of them are.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. Awesome. Kimberly, well, this has been a freaking blast. You were awesome. I could listen to you talk all day. You were so engaging. My final question for you is an open-ended question, and you can take it in any direction that you like. And the question is, what are you working towards?
What am I working towards? Um, I'm working towards creating a practice that is our client's best financial advocate.
Mm.
And that's my goal. And what I mean by that is a practice where, one, we educate clients. So continuing to do what I love. Financial literacy is my passion. I love speaking. I love talking. I love educating, all of that. So that's one, educating our clients. Two, helping our clients reach their financial dream.
Mm.
Three, and helping, and I'll be quite frank with you, helping Kimberly reach her dreams. And so I am truly blessed, Chris, that I think I am doing what God created me to do. And so in order for me to live out my true purpose, I have to become my client's best financial advocates. I have to put people in positions to be financially successful. That's what I'm working towards. And I don't know if I ever achieve it because I think the world is ever evolving, but I still have to keep going towards that goal. And I think as long as I do that, I'll always be happy because I'll be doing what I was created to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Amazing. Amazing. And where can my audience find out more about you?
So my website is www.krswm.com. KRSWM as in KRS Wealth Management. That is the name of my firm. You can find me on social media under KRS Wealth Management on both Facebook, Instagram, and we're no longer on X. But Facebook and Instagram, you can certainly find us. On LinkedIn, I am Kimberly R. Stewart. And then, of course, my email address is Kimberly, Kimberly, at krswm.com.
Awesome.
That's how
And
you
we
find me.
will.
And then my phone number, you can always call. I like talking to people. So that's 407-425-9101.
Awesome. And we will link all of those in the show notes. And our URL is also 5 letters for the show. So I love that. I was excited when it was available. I was like,
Right.
uhnwc.com. Heck yeah.
Yes. Yep. It's easy to remember, quick to roll off the tongue. So I got you there.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for taking the time to come on my show. I super enjoyed meeting you. You are very inspiring. Not just because we went to the same college, but you were just like I mentioned in the beginning, you are tenacious and unstoppable, and the things you've achieved are amazing, and I'm so excited to continue watching your journey. And I'm in Spain, so I can't come see you live in person whenever you're doing your next talking engagement. But if one of them is ever hosted online or anywhere, I'll be tuning in to get inspired.
Thank you so much for having me. You're awesome. And like you said, not simply because we graduated from the same university, but thank you so much for having me. And we'll make sure that the next webinar we do that we'll get you a link to it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love that. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in today, and keep on growing out there, everybody. See ya.